Welcome back. This is Radio Free Market, and I'm talking with Dr. Timothy Terrell. The fourth most common objection to capitalism that you list here, Tim, is capitalism doesn't account for non-material goals. What does this mean, non-material goals?
Well, there are a number of things that we would like to see in a society. Faith, justice, love, compassion, sympathy, cooperation. And so a lot of critics of a capitalistic society will say, well, yes, society produces a lot of material goods, but it's morally bad because it does not consider these non-material goals that people might have. It's only concerned with more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that that's a valid criticism. For one thing, in order to accomplish these non-material goals, in order to show love to my neighbor, to be sympathetic, to have justice in society, I have to have resources, access to physical resources. So for one thing, if capitalism is good at providing physical resources to people, I think that that's perfectly consistent with these non-material goals that people have.
How does this twist the term economics?
Yes, there's a perversion of that term economic. Economics is about how we use resources of all kinds to accomplish our goals.
Now, I want to stop you right there because I wrote this down yesterday, and I have to say, and I'd love all our listeners to write this down because I thought this was the most succinct and best comprehensive definition of economics that I've ever heard. And so I'm going to read it again,
Sure.
if you don't mind. And you can correct me if I happen to get a word incorrectly. But economics is about how we use resources to accomplish a goal. And why I like that particular thing so much is that I had always been working with two definitions of economics. One was the allocation of scarce resources, which is stuff part of the equation, and the human choice of whether or not we're going to cooperate in harmony with each other or not.
Right.
And what I like about this particular definition is that it really melds the two together. It's about how we use the resources to accomplish a goal. How includes, are we going to cooperate in harmony or not?
Yes.
And so that's very, very, very important.
And those goals don't have to be accumulating a larger house or more cars in the driveway. Mm-hmm. That can be a goal, but Mother Teresa had goals. Her mm-hmm. goal was mm-hmm. to see ill people in Calcutta treated well and cared for. Mm-hmm. That's no less an economic goal mm-hmm. than accumulating some kind of stuff.
You also made this very extraordinary statement that faith requires human action.
Yes.
Please discuss that a little.
So economics is a subset of a realm called praxeology, which is Mises' term for the study of human action. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about any kind of action. The action of a pastor or the action of a philanthropist. This is economic behavior. Mm-hmm. I don't think that this is separate from moral behavior.
It's the realm of economics. I like to use the analogy that we are all economic beings.
Yes.
That saying you don't understand economics is like a fish not understanding water,
right.
A bird not understanding air, because we move through life in an economic world. We live in a realm of what we could call economics, and that our spiritual life, the development of our spiritual life, actually requires access to material things. How are we going to get to there?
Yes.
From here to there.
If you have a goal of feeding the hungry or clothing the naked or housing the homeless, helping the sick, all of those things can be done better with access to physical resources.
Mm-hmm. That's really terrific. So, all right, let's leave this behind. Let's go to the fifth most common objection to capitalism. Capitalism is aesthetically obnoxious and environmentally irresponsible. So this is loaded. There's a lot on this one.
There's so much here, and I keep hearing these objections to capitalism from students and others that I talk to, and of course the modern problem with the Gulf oil spill, people don't recognize the role that anti-capitalistic policy had in perpetuating that kind of tragedy, or other kinds of environmental problems that we see.
Well, let's before we go on to the BP thing, let's talk about this from a more broad kind of perspective. You asked the question, can anyone just leave their employment?
Yes.
And then you asked the question, can anyone leave their tax jurisdiction?
Yes.
And so, please discuss those.
One of the problems that I see in the anti-capitalistic argument is that I often hear that people are oppressed by their insurance company or they're oppressed by their employer. Well, I had a dispute with my auto insurance company a while back about a claim, but I didn't worry that my insurance company was going to put me in jail or kill me. I can move out of one provider to another provider services in a very short period of time. But leaving a political jurisdiction that I find tyrannical will be much, much more difficult for me. And we see a dramatically higher level of tyranny among large political jurisdictions.
Very good. Well, we're going to be coming into our next break, and next after this we'll have our long segment. So, folks, please stay with us. We're talking with Dr. Timothy Terrell on the 10 common objections to capitalism. This is very fascinating. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Please stay with us.